Hi all. Welcome to the Entangled Cynic podcast for December 10th, 2025, where we're going to talk about hypnosis for stress reduction and positive life change. I am the Entangled Cynic, your host. So how many times has somebody asked you what you did today when they have done that? How many times have you replied to them, I don't know, same old, same old? But if you had to get into specifics, you'd kind of really have to think hard about it. Now, how about this? You're at work and someone brings you a unique problem, the kind you haven't seen before, the kind that makes your brain light up with, ooh, a challenge. And as soon as you start working on it, it feels like the whole world fades. And before you know it, it's time to punch out. You may or may not have taken your lunch. You don't remember. I got news for you. Working on that challenge, you were in a state of self-induced hypnosis. The only thing your consciousness was actually focused on was that challenge. Everything else, lunch, bathroom breaks, maybe even phone calls or emails, were done subconsciously, as in on autopilot. You just did it. You weren't really thinking about it. Or how about this? Your SO broke up with you this morning. All you could think about all day was the conversation. It became the focal point of your day. You don't remember going to work. You don't remember doing your job. You don't remember lunch or the drive back and forth or even eating that whole pint of Ben & Jerry's in one sitting. And let's not mention the half a coffee cake that you had left from the other day, but the empties are in the garbage, and the silverware with its evidence is in the sink. You were in a state of hypnosis. Your coping mechanisms, self-soothing through eating junk food, for instance, was done subconsciously or on autopilot. You just did it. You weren't thinking about it. Now imagine if it were that easy to get through your workout or your studies, or laying the groundwork of your new entrepreneurial venture. Fact is, we move through more than 90%, I'd say closer to 95% of our day on autopilot. It's why when we have a moment of clarity, we wonder if we shut off the empty coffee maker or turned off the stove before we left or locked the door. Think about it for a minute. Every subconscious coping mechanism or habit came from some level of discomfort, whether you experienced it yourself or you watched an authority figure use it and then adopted it for yourself. It's the intense moments of focus, those challenges, those puzzles that engage your mind, that shift your perception from the passage of time outside of you to a fully present, in the moment experience that is the state of hypnosis. It's been around for as long as there have been multicellular creatures. There has been hypnosis. Think about the sea creatures who developed the adornments that mimic the motion of the waves, to snakes moving rhythmically before striking. There has been hypnosis, or as it was once called, mesmerism. From actual tune to rhythm to dance to basically any movement we use, it becomes hypnotic. Runners break through a wall and can continue to run indefinitely once they're in that zone. That's a hypnotic state. When you're walking, particularly in nature, we can lose ourselves in our thoughts, wrangling and solving problems that we never could have at our desks. Most of the time, we just enjoy the quiet or use this particular state to revisit a mistake that we might have made through the day or conversations we might have felt were less than optimal, or even those where we made our point concisely, clearly, and concretely, giving us that win for the day. But not a lot of people consider hypnosis as the incredibly life-changing tool it can be when it's used properly. In fact, most people still see hypnosis as something for entertainment, a dinner show involving swinging pocket watches and quacking, like a duck. And more people than you know claim, I can't be hypnotized, it doesn't work on me. Well, let's debunk that. The truth of the matter is exactly the opposite of what you think it is. Hypnosis isn't some unconscious state where everything that makes you you is forced into some back seat while your body is forced to do things that you don't want to or think yourself incapable of. It's actually the exact opposite. It's about hyper-focus. See, the idea of using focused attention to create inner change is ancient, far older than the word hypnosis itself. Thousands of years ago, in Egyptian sleep temples, priests guided people into trance-like states to promote healing. These experiences were quiet, introspective, and deeply calming, some of the earliest examples of structured relaxation and suggestion. In ancient Greece, practices associated with the god Asclepius also used trance states for both physical and emotional healing. Meanwhile, in India, meditative and yogic practices were using breathing and visualization and focus to calm the mind. These techniques closely resemble modern hypnotic inductions. So the concept of using focused attention, relaxation, and suggestion to influence well-being has been with humanity for millennia. Now, flash forward to the 1700s. This is where hypnosis begins to take on a recognizable modern form. A charismatic Austrian physician named Franz Anton Mesmer proposed that invisible forces, which he called animal magnetism, no, not that animal magnetism, could be manipulated to produce healing. We now know that his theories about magnetic fluids weren't scientifically accurate, and don't go there. But Mesmer accomplished something incredibly important. He showed that suggestion, expectation, and focused attention could dramatically influence how people feel. Even without understanding the true mechanism of Mesmer's methods, it helped reduce anxiety, relieve pain, and change behavior. And his work sparked massive interest across Europe. Although his explanations were flawed, Mesmer laid the groundwork for everything that came next. In the 1840s, Scottish surgeon James Braid observed Mesmer's techniques, but he rejected the idea of magnetic forces. Braid noticed that people entered a special state when their attention narrowed intensely. He realized this had nothing to do with magnets, it was a psychological phenomenon. He coined the term hypnosis from the Greek word hypnos, meaning sleep, even though hypnosis isn't actually sleep at all. Braid described it more accurately as a state of focused attention and heightened suggestibility. This was a crucial shift. Hypnosis was no longer mystical, it was a mind-driven process. Braid used hypnosis to reduce surgical pain, to calm anxious clients, to interrupt unhealthy habits, to improve sleep and stress levels. For the first time, hypnosis was framed as a scientific technique for improving well-being. And as the 1800s progressed, hypnosis gained serious attention from the medical world. In France, neurologist Jean-Martin Charcot used hypnosis to study neurological disorders. His public demonstrations drew international attention and influenced many young thinkers, including Sigmund Freud. Meanwhile, in the town of Nancy, physicians Hippolyte Bernheim and Ambroise Auguste Liebel made a powerful discovery. Hypnosis wasn't a rare or strange phenomena. It was a natural state that almost anyone could enter. They emphasized the power of suggestion and believed hypnosis could be used to help people overcome anxiety, habitual behaviors, psychosomatic symptoms, stress, and emotional tension. Their insights laid the theoretical foundations for modern hypnotherapy. Now, in comes the 20th century, and with it, massive changes. Hypnosis shifted from a curiosity to a respected clinical tool. During both world wars, doctors and psychologists used hypnosis to help soldiers with what we now call PTSD. Back then, it was known as shell shock. Hypnosis helped reduce traumatic stress. It helped manage pain and address anxiety when other tools were limited. Then came one of the most influential figures in hypnosis, Milton H. Erickson, a psychiatrist whose creative, indirect approach transformed the field. Erickson believed people have deep inner resources. Hypnosis helps them access those resources. Change happens through collaboration, not control. He developed techniques that felt conversational and natural, using storytelling metaphor and gentle suggestion. His methods enhanced stress resilience, broke habitual patterns, and helped clients develop healthier ways of thinking and behaving. Erickson's work inspired modern cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness approaches, and many of today's therapeutic techniques. Today, hypnosis is studied with tools like MRI and EEG, giving us a clearer picture of what's actually happening in the brain. Modern research shows that hypnosis reduces activity in the default mode network, which leads to deep relaxation. It also enhances connectivity between areas involved in focus, attention, and imagination. It decreases the brain's perception of stress and pain and increases receptivity to positive suggestions and new patterns. Most importantly, hypnosis is not mind control. It is a collaborative process that helps people shift into a highly focused, receptive state where change becomes easier. The person in hypnosis remains aware, in control, and able to accept or reject any suggestion. In modern practice, hypnosis is recognized as a powerful tool for managing stress and supporting personal transformation. And here's how it helps with stress reduction. The deep physiological relaxation, first off, allows hypnosis to guide the body into a state similar to meditation, lowering the heart rate, slowing breathing, and releasing tension. When someone learns hypnotic relaxation, they build resilience and recover more quickly from stressful events. So you have reduced reactivity to stresses. Visualization is another tool which taps into the brain's natural ability to influence emotion and body responses. So you create positive imagery in your mind. Reframing stress triggers through suggestions help shift how people interpret challenges, leading to calmer, automatic reactions. And when it comes to positive life changes, hypnosis supports healthier habits, because these are what you want to do anyway. Greater motivation, because that's what you need anyway. Consistent lifestyle routines, because that's what you know is going to give you the goals that you want to achieve. Confidence and self-belief, behavior modification, emotional regulation. Hypnosis doesn't override your will. Instead, it strengthens your inner alignment, helping your conscious and your subconscious mind work together instead of against each other. So why does it work? At its core, hypnosis works because it helps you access a mental state where your mind is relaxed, focus is heightened, internal resistance is lowered, making positive suggestions easier to integrate, all of which makes deep, lasting change more accessible. It's like, it's like updating your old mental software, defragging your hard drive, updating your program, clearing the clutter, and calming the system. So what you're doing is you're installing healthier, more supportive patterns. And these patterns help you improve the quality of your life. So all the way from ancient temples to modern neuroscience labs, hypnosis has traveled this incredible, remarkable path. It used to be wrapped in mystique, and now it's understood as a powerful mind-body tool for relaxation, resilience, and meaningful personal change. The story of hypnosis is ultimately the story of human potential. Our ability to shift our focus, to tap into inner resources, and rewrite patterns that shape our lives and our future. And as research continues to advance, hypnosis will only become more refined, more accessible, and more integrated into the health and wellness practices of the future. Today's episode has been brought to you by jacarlton.com, where you can find life coaching and other motivational and self-improvement tools to help you change your world from the inside out. Thank you for being here. Stay safe, stay well, and stay entangled.